Welcome to Suncoast View. I'm Joey Panic. We remember a comedy legend with our fondest memories of Mary Tyler Moore. Plus, the New York Times feels the wrath of dads everywhere. We'll discuss.
I'm Linda Larson, and I admit, once upon a time, I was a bit of a flower child. Well, now that bohemian look is back in style, yay! We'll make our own fresh flower headpieces with Victoria blooms.
I'm Bo Beth, and I don't speak a lick of Spanish, but I'm packing my bags and I'm heading to Cuba. Today, Admiral Travel is here to help me get ready and answer some of my many questions.
And I'm Linda Carson. We'll get a taste of the Caribbean in today's Sounds of the Suncoast, and we'll taste some beer with a Suncoast brewery. All that more right now on Suncoast View.
And welcome to the show. Stephanie is off today, so I'm happy to be sitting in. And a big welcome back to Linda Larson.
Yes, thank you. Happy to be here.
Yes, we're thrilled you're here. And I have to say, Linda Larson and Linda Carson, and I will not confuse the two.
Everybody gets us mixed up except John Scalzi.
Well, except I got us mixed up once. I was doing the show, and when on the intro I said, "Hi, I'm Linda Carson." Oh, no. So it's
hilarious.
common.
When she and John Scalzi got married, everybody thought he married me. So it was a little confusing for a while.
And actually said, thank you.
Yes, actually I could have been his mother, so that would have been very interesting.
Well, we are very happy to have you here. Both Lindas, and of course, Bo Beth, and color coordination.
Yeah, we got
I
the
swear,
red.
Of course.
You don't call each other. But Linda Larson, be glad that you're here today and not yesterday. We tried a little experiment. You know, we like to celebrate every crazy holiday here on the Suncoast. And there is National Opposite Day. So we actually started the show with everyone in different seats. They had flipped the seats.
And it was hard.
No, none of us could recover. It took 15 minutes for us to try to get through the show to the point where we finally just went back to the regular
gave up.
seats.
Yes.
Really?
It's very confusing.
During the commercial break, I was just like, can we just go back, please? And he said, yes, let's just all go back.
Well, it's like at the dinner table. Everyone always sits where they normally
yes.
sit. Or at a conference meeting.
Absolutely.
Or church. I mean, you always sit in the same
That's
place.
true.
And Kelly Jaco was here yesterday. She made a good point that when people in an exercise room change sides that they're on or spots, they don't remember how to do anything. Or if you work at a different desk, sometimes you don't know how to type. So we're back. Well, I'm not, but Steph, we're for the most part we're
in our
back where we
rights,
should be.
but yeah.
And the other person who's where he should be is in the kitchen. We have Chef Jermaine from Stottlemeyer's. What are we making today?
We're making southern fried cabbage today.
Southern fried cabbage. Oh, that sounds, and it looks like it's a one skillet entree, which is great. All right, we cannot wait to join you. Linda Carson. Man, I'm going to throw a penny in every time I do it. You are a resident Southern lady. Have you made Southern fried cabbage before?
No. I've made southern fried chicken. Does that count?
Sure. That's probably the same principle.
Bread it and fry it.
Exactly.
Cabbage, chicken, same thing.
Yep, fine. As long as it's fried, we'll eat it. Well, we're excited to head into the kitchen later. But right now, it is time for our first hot topic, and it's a bit of a sad one. Yesterday, we lost one of the premier actresses of the 60s and the 70s who really defined womanhood for an entire generation. Mary Tyler Moore passed away at age 80 after complications with pneumonia. The Oscar-nominated actress has been heralded for her roles in The Dick Van Dyke Show and The Mary Tyler Moore Show, changing the public's idea of a woman's role in the family and the workforce. We will greatly miss her independence and her boldness, and I really would love to ask the ladies here on this panel, how did she influence you, and what were your favorite memories of the actress?
Well, it's funny because the show was on when I had just moved to this country, and in Jamaica, we didn't have like the role reverses where a woman stayed home and a man worked. So I didn't understand the importance of it until later on, because I was used to seeing a woman have a job. So I just thought she was just a lady with a job like normal. And it wasn't until maybe I was in my late teens that I realized that, oh my, at that time it wasn't normal for a woman to be doing something like this in charge of a show or anything like that.
Well, I had been doing this for 6 years. I'd been on the air as an anchor for 6 years in Atlanta when this started. I was just thrilled to see somebody like me. It was like the first time I'd seen somebody like me, because even in the others, when there was a mother in the house, she wore a very dressed up dress and swept the floor in high heels, and that was not me. But to see somebody like me and to see the joy when she threw that hat into the air, oh, that was my very favorite moment.
And she insisted, I read, she insisted on wearing wearing capri pants. And she was one of the first sitcom actresses. She did not vacuum in a full dress because she said that's not what women do. She dressed the way that women really dressed.
Oh, I love that. I grew up with her too, and I remember. I think as an actress, though, what really impressed me so much was when she went from these fun, sitcom, happy, cute, adorable, into Ordinary People, where she won an Oscar nomination for her role. And it was so shocking, but it just let us know what a tremendously good actress she was.
Absolutely. And at that time, it seemed like in TV, there was still this idea of, well, you can either be the ingenue, the heroine, or you can be funny, like Carol Burnett, but you can't be both. And she was one of the first to be able to do both.
And it showed that your work life can be your family. I love that because everybody on that show were family. And we had the feeling in my workplace then too, but it was like, oh yeah, this is the way it's supposed to be.
A couple big milestones of hers that I was reading yesterday. She also was a producer in real life. I know she played one on one of her shows, but she had her own production company that was responsible for some big shows. Bob Newhart Show, WKRP in Cincinnati, Bay City Blues, Hill Street Blues. I mean, so you know, she really was powerful off screen. She was also one of the first characters to mention taking birth control on a sitcom. Before then, it was that whole, you know, 2 twin beds and we pretend like
well, it wasn't too many years before then that birth control pills actually came into being, so I can understand why they didn't mention it earlier.
Sure.
We didn't have it.
It didn't exist.
Sure. Well, one of the iconic scenes when we think about the ways that she made us laugh was from the Chuckles the Clown episode. And if you're familiar with this episode, we're going to take a look at it. But right in this moment, she and her work team have gone to see, they've gone to the funeral of a famous clown. And in the eulogy, they are listing the clown's survivors. Anyone who has had a hard time stifling laughter in inappropriate public settings can appreciate. Let's take a look.
Peter Peanut. Mr. Fee-Fi-Fo. Billy Banana. And my particular favorite, Aunt Yoo-Hoo. And not just...
I mean, Linda Larson, you know, we think of you as such a funny woman in our lives, and I mean, her comedy inspired you.
It's so inspiring, especially right at the top where she is genuinely shocked, and that's what you feel when you hear those things. It's like, oh, no, he didn't just say that. And then you can see it start to settle in. She's brilliant.
Yes, well, she will be missed. So it's a sad way to start up. You know,
it's sad for me. She's only 2 years older than I am.
Oh, yeah, you'll be here too.
You'll be here forever.
The show will, and you will be around forever, and we're very
and
happy.
if I'm not, you can just sit me right there.
Yeah, we got a cardboard cutout.
If I don't say anything for a while, you know I'm dead.
We'll know the difference. We will know the difference. Well, the next story. The Women's March last Sunday saw a record number of ladies assembling in Washington for the day or possibly even the weekend. For participants who are moms, this meant that some kids had to stay at home with dad. But the New York Times felt the wrath of parents everywhere for the way that they portrayed it. They wrote a story, and the headline read, "How Vital Are Women? This town found out as they left to march." And the story envisioned a world where fathers suddenly had responsibilities for their children, having to learn their spouse's routines and doing their hardest to juggle the kids while mom was away. Well, as you might have guessed, both mothers and fathers were offended by this notion, saying that it reinforced 3 unwanted stereotypes. 1, that most dads can't care for their kids. 2, the ones who can are somehow superheroes. And 3, stay-at-home parenting is the woman's work. The New York Times editor who oversees that section later said, okay, it was a bad idea from the get-go. It was conceived with good intentions, but it fell flat, and I regret it. How much do you think the notion of fatherhood has changed?
I feel bad saying this, but I don't see a problem with the article, but not for the reasons that they're saying. I don't think it necessarily is forcing that stereotype to continue. I think it's talking about reality. In many cases, in many of my friends, their husbands are inept. Like, seriously, like they go crazy. You leave them 5 minutes alone. Like I was with a friend the other day, and we just went out for drinks, and literally the whole time he was calling every 5 minutes. She's not a stay-at-home mom, but he's just not used to dealing with 3 kids running around crazy because there's always someone there to help.
Well, this is a dangerous question, especially to be the only guy here to throw this out there. But is this really a gender thing, or is this a one parent? in some of these homes, one parent stays at home and is very familiar with the routine. One doesn't and
Who
is
has
not.
a stay-at-home parent?
I don't think it's
I
about. That's
didn't
what I'm
grow
saying.
up with it.
I don't think it's about. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's pushing the stereotype, because I don't think the article is saying that, you know, only women can take care of the children, only men can, you know, and men can't do the same. I think it's just right now, if you really did a survey, a lot of men are not able to do, don't do it and feel uncomfortable doing it.
Well, when Bud and I got married, he had 2 older children, and I had 1, and he said, I missed out a lot on my older children, so I want to be an equal partner in this when our daughter Kathy was born. And he was. When I had a big news story, I took the baby, dropped her off at the stadium, and he could take care of her until I got through. And they grew up to be very, very close. It was a good thing for both of them.
I'm thinking a lot of that was just meant to be funny. I don't know. I really didn't see it, but it sounds to me like we do a lot of that. We take a stereotypical situation and we turn it into a joke. I happen to personally know a lot of men who are so interested in taking care of their children. John Scalzi, you couldn't have pried that baby from his arms every opportunity he got. He welcomed every chance he had to take care of Michael. So I just think that today, in today's time, we have a lot of men who eagerly embrace that, and we have a lot who don't.
But it's not that they don't embrace it. It's that sometimes they're not able to, they don't want a yelling kid around them 24/7, and they don't know how to bring them down all the time.
It may be a matter of, if someone asked me to do the gardening, you know, to stay at home this week and do the gardening, guess what? It's going to be a mess, because it's not something that I do normally.
Well, as a grandmother, when I get the kids, I raised 4 kids. When I get 2, like I did last weekend, I'm still stumbling around like, what do we want for lunch? What do we want for dinner? What time do we go to bed? Oh my goodness, how can I get 2 people bathed? So when you don't do something all the time, it is very hard.
Some of the criticism of the article was that they chose to focus on this aspect instead of actually talking about the march. Where I do have a little bit of sympathy is if you are the writer for the New York Times, you're trying to find a different angle, and it was maybe just poor judgment and
everybody's talking about the march.
I'm just saying, how many women out there have asked their husband to do something and you came back and you're like, really, this is what you did? Are you serious?
That's true.
Your
you
second marriage
I'm
is
just
not
I would
saying,
actually
my
rephrase
second
that.
marriage is looking really
I'd rephrase that
bad.
to
Yeah, it
how
looks
many
like a long way
spouses
off.
out there have asked their spouse to do something
There
and come
you
home
go.
and it's not
I'm gonna
done.
go
Man,
with that.
woman.
That's what I'm saying. It's
yes.
man, it doesn't matter.
That's where
man,
it might
woman, or
not
child.
be a gender issue. It
Or
might
we
just
could
be.
just
not.
clone John Scalzi
Exactly.
and
he
life
could do
will
it for
be
us.
That's
great.
How
something-
many wives say that?
That's
How
something
many
we
wives
all
say
agree
that?
on.
He's pretty wonderful. I'm just saying, he's pretty amazing.
Can you share him?
I
Come to my house
clone,
and
share, yeah.
When they got Linda Larson and Linda Carson
I know.
mixed
See,
up,
some-
I should have taken her
Linda Carson,
role.
some people thought that you already did, so that's good. At least we all agree John Scalzi is always the answer. So, one of Hollywood's greatest classics might be coming back, but this time as a video game. Director Francis Ford Coppola has launched a Kickstarter campaign to reimagine his film Apocalypse Now as an interactive video game. Coppola says he's been waiting for video games to grow into a storytelling tool, and he wants to explore this story again for a new, younger generation. Now, maybe this is the beginning of me turning into a grumpy old man, but when I heard this story, I thought, this is not appropriate. I think there are certain things in our country, in our history, that are still, I don't want someone playing a video game of certain events that happened in our country's history. The Vietnam War, 9/11, those are a couple of them, and maybe I'm crazy. That's my soapbox.
I think we get numb to violence. You do this game over and over and over, seeing somebody killed is nothing because you've done it over and over and over. I think we get numb to shocking things, and they don't shock us, and they don't make us furious, and they don't make us react to them anymore. It just becomes commonplace.
I agree with both of you, but have you guys seen the video games that are out there? Call of Duty, like they are already doing stuff like this. They may not be based on the real events, but they're very violent.
I have a question. Would this be a way to actually teach kids what happened? Would it be? I don't know.
But
That's a
didn't hurt
great
when it
question,
happened. Yeah,
Linda.
it
And
is.
actually, I mean, we should say I don't play video games. I don't profess that anybody else.
Fair.
So this is not our forte. We don't really understand the medium. That's what Coppola is arguing, that this is a way to bring the story into the next,
But
form of media.
like the Private Ryan movie, that was supposed to make us shocked at the horror of
And it
war.
didn't.
Shocked for the first time. If we get to see it every day, a dozen times a day, it's not going to be shocking.
And
that's what I'm
actually,
saying.
Spielberg
These-
did try to turn Private Ryan into a video game, and then got a lot of backlash and pulled it.
But these video games are already doing that. Like my little brother will sit there and they're on the headset and they're talking, I'm in this room, I'm going to shoot this place up. They're literally going through a war zone, and it is very realistic.
And we
So
have
they're
many more
already,
shootings than we
yeah,
used
they're
to.
already desensitized to war, and it's already happening. So I'm not saying I don't think this is a good idea. I'm just saying it's already out there.
Yeah.
So,
Which also asks the question then, is it really necessary to turn Apocalypse now? We already have
Yeah,
similar
multiple,
games.
yeah.
And
What
I
about
think the
Dirty
game,
Dancing? That ought to be a
you
video
know what?
game.
That's a game I think we could all play together, and perfect timing, Linda Carson, because Dirty Dancing is heading back to the big screen for its 30th anniversary. Nobody puts us in a corner. January 29th and February 1st, you can get tickets at the AMC Bradenton and Hollywood 20. And this, all right, spoiler alert, she does the lift at the end of the movie, but if you don't know that, I don't know where you've been for the last 30 years.
Right, yes.
This, I don't know about the rest of you, one of my favorite movies, and I will go see this on the big screen.
Oh, it was awesome. I still think of that. Yes, it's joy, it's youth, it's proving you can do anything in the world if you try.
Absolutely.
It's Patrick Swayze.
Yes,
it
the
was
late
gorgeous.
Patrick Swayze. The only thing about this story that I don't like is that I did not realize it was 30 years ago, and that
makes you feel old.
that confirms I'm turning into a grumpy old man.
What, were you 8 when you watched it?
Yes, I'll go with that answer. Sure, that works.
My
Well,
daughter was in trouble during those years, so she could go out, but I had to go too.
So you
So
watched it
she and
too?
her friends at like 10 went to see this, and I sat in the back of the theater, loving every minute of it.
I love it. Well, we're all excited about it. Well, while we continue our love for Dirty Dancing, maybe we'll even practice the lift. We're going to check in with our happy hour forecast.
You can lift me.
Thank you, Linda. We're
Let me get out of the way.
We're going to perfect that, but when we come back, we're going to get some traveling tips to Cuba.
Good afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist with your happy hour forecast. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan, that is. We're looking at currently we have partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies at places in South Sarasota right now. 74 degrees. Dew point is at 68. And the humidity at 82%. Winds are out of the southwest at 14. The pressure 30.03 inches. That is holding steady right now. There's a frontal boundary moving across north central Florida right now. It's going to bring us some cooler air. We had a little bit of taste of some clouds and some sprinkles earlier. And what you're seeing on the radar picture right now is some light rainfall into South Sarasota County. You can see it near Venice and Inglewood and stretching off toward Charlotte Harbor, and some activity out there in the Gulf of Mexico. Again, the cooler air is still behind the front that is still back over north central Florida right now, and it will eventually cool us down somewhat for Friday, and then continuing into the weekend, we'll get a double shot of some colder air. 64 now in Jacksonville. It's 83, though, in Miami, and 81 still in Orlando. More in your forecast coming up at 5. See you then.
I'm excited and nervous to be packing my bags to travel across the border to Cuba. And I have a lot of questions, and here to answer some of them is Alexis Lehman from Admiral Travel in Sarasota. And Alexis, bienvenidos.
Bienvenido.
Yay, I said it right!
Baby steps. Baby
He's
steps.
saying that in my ear side note, so I did not know that information prior to just saying it to you.
So she has a lot of questions,
Yeah.
basically.
Yes.
Got it.
So I feel really unprepared for this trip, and I don't know anything, nor do I know Spanish.
Yeah.
Like anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily a massive issue to not know Spanish. Typically, when we're sending travelers, they have guides. So
Okay.
they don't have that issue of needing to know Spanish because they have somebody already there sorting everything out
that's
for
good.
them and interacting with the locals and knowing everything that's going on, keeping everything up to date.
Well, let's
So-
start with the basics, though. So
Yes.
money. So we know we're going to need money. So I know
Yes.
Bobeth was wondering about.
Definitely. So Cuba is evolving and evolving quickly. It's changing on a day-to-day basis, pretty much. One of the things that is not changing as quickly as I would have anticipated is ATMs, the presence of ATMs, and credit card usage. It really isn't robust. I would not rely on credit cards. I wouldn't rely on finding ATMs.
Really?
I would
Shocking.
bring cash. Cash, and oddly enough, a euro translates better over there, so a lot of people are bringing euros because they find that they get a better value for exchanging euros.
So should I exchange my American dollars to euros here, or should I wait till I get there?
I mean, they're not going to exchange dollars to euros, as far as I know. I've not had anybody try to do that, so I would bring euros there.
Okay. All right, that's a good idea.
Money,
Yeah.
check.
Yeah, money.
Good enough.
Spanish,
Good
not
stuff.
needed.
It should be safe.
Yes, absolutely. So one of the things that's changing so much is initially when we started sending people, you had to have a pretty rigorous itinerary. There were certain aspects that you needed to see to meet the licensing requirements through the government. Now, it's gotten a lot more relaxed. You know, the first couple of days, there's certain boxes that need to be ticked, certain places that you need to see. But you can go out and explore on your own. You
Wow.
can feel emboldened to kind of just walk through the streets, and you'll find it's not scary at all. Everybody's out having a coffee and chatting to their neighbors and playing a game of soccer. I mean, we went at 7 o'clock in the morning, just walked the streets to get some good photos, and at no point did I ever feel unsafe.
What will I see, there? Like, what are the buildings like, or what are some of the things that, I should try to make sure I see?
Sure. So a big aspect, obviously, that you want to see is the culture. So there are certain elements like the cigar factories and the rum factories and
I like
the
that idea.
chocolate.
Oh,
Chocolate
really?
brings up the
Like
food
that?
issue. So on our show, we've talked about the fact that the Cuban food supply can't necessarily handle the amount of visitors to Cuba. So
Sure.
what can Bobeth expect for dining out experience?
So it depends. There's a couple different options. You have the paladars, which are the locally owned and operated restaurants. Some of them grew out of just a person's home, and then you have the government-operated restaurants. The paladars, I haven't heard this as much because typically our travelers have everything prepared for them as far as the restaurants that they're going to. But I can believe that they would have a shortage on the amount of food. We were at a restaurant one night. There was only 22 of us, and we were only having maybe a beer, 2 beers each, and we drank them out of beer.
Wow.
So we were like, what do you mean you don't have any more beer? So there's not an unlimited supply of everything.
So
there.
that wouldn't
that
be
has
uncommon
limitation.
that you might run out. They may run out of
Yes, yeah, I would always check beforehand.
Can you bring things with you, like little
Sandwiches?
protein bars and?
I don't think that that's an issue. A lot of people do bring things to give to the locals, things like candy and toothbrushes. So I don't see why that would be.
What
any
about
sort of
bringing
an issue.
back?
Yeah, what can I bring
What
back?
can she bring us back for
well,
gifts?
rum and cigars, those things that you want to bring back from Cuba, you are now able to bring back a certain amount. I can't say specifically how much because it fluctuates. It was $100 and then it kind of got a little bit more loose. So
Those rules keep changing, it
they
sounds
keep
like, and
changing,
evolving pretty quickly.
Constantly changing, yes.
But are we
Really?
helping the economy by going?
Well,
I don't think we're supposed to.
Take her money over there and leave it, Bobeth. That'll help a lot.
yeah,
But I don't
absolutely.
think America allows that. The rules are very strict of what you can do, and it has to actually be like an exchange of people to people.
Correct.
I
So you
think
better talk to her
I
before
think
you
Alexis's
go.
most
That's
important
correct.
advice is to bring us back rum and cigars, is what I heard. I think that's what I
And
heard.
use your travel advisor because they can really help set everything up for you so you don't have any issues going in. No concerns, no fears. You know everything's sorted for you.
All right, well, thank you so much, Alexis. Now, thank you. And if you guys are planning a trip to Cuba or anywhere else, Admiral Travel can help you. You go to their website, admiraltravel.com. And you guys wish me luck. She says I don't need to know Spanish, so I should be fine.
Poco de hacer.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. All right, well, coming up next, we're going to have a musical duo. We'll be right back.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today at our new kitchen and bath cabinetry locations.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Nobody beats Bacon's with Bassett. Rich finishes, beautiful colors, and over 1,000 different fabrics and leathers to choose from. Bassett Custom Furniture at Bacon's Furniture and Design in Sarasota. Right now, all custom premier sofas, upholstered headboards, and ottomans are 40% off. Don't miss this opportunity to get the custom ordered furniture you've been dreaming of for a limited time at 40% off. Only at Bacon's Furniture and Design in Sarasota. Nobody beats Bacon's.
Ideologue. I am an originalist.
We love our tropical weather, and the best way to have fun in the sun is with some tropical music. The duo Straight Up is here with their mix of pop, reggae, and calypso in today's Sounds of the Suncoast. Take it away, guys.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh yeah, you know the colors of the rainbow look so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of the people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, but saying how do you do? And what they're really saying, baby, is that I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yeah, yeah. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. What a wonderful world.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Wow.
Oh, that was
That's awesome.
fantastic.
Can you guys follow me around and sing for me?
In Cuba.
Sure.
Now, wait, we had
Amazing.
someone here, am I
George,
correct?
yes.
Who was with the Hermits?
I played with Hermits for 12 years throughout the 1990s.
I listen to you all the time.
All the time.
Wow.
It was awesome. I got to travel all over the world and didn't make it to Cuba, but you know, it was really an awesome
What were the
experience.
big songs?
I'm Henry VIII. What a wonderful world they did.
I'm into something good.
I'm into something good.
Something
There's a kind of
tells me.
hush all over the world. They had a nice string of hits.
Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter.
I remember that.
Oh my gosh,
Oh
how
my.
great. And now where did the Caribbean influence come from?
Well, we've been playing in the Suncoast of Florida for 10 years, Chad Conti and myself, and we've been just playing all these fun venues, tiki bars, and awesome places. So, you know, it's just been
It just kind of evolved into that.
a fun experience.
What next? I want to hear you guys.
Well, you can catch Straight Up at the Jewish Food Festival on February 19th in Venice. And for more information, you can visit innerwavemusic.com. And next, Goddess Crowns with Victoria Blooms. Yes, we're going to be making them, and I'm going to be wearing them. But first, would you guys play us out to break?
Yes. Please, play something.
Cream by Dr. Anna, known as the facelift in a bottle, is an all-natural anti-aging formula that tightens skin and muscles, making you look younger. It's made in Sarasota with real pearls, Chinese herbs, and no preservatives. Visit our store or at pearlcreambydranna.com.
Attention blood clot filter patients. Surgically implanted blood clot filters are potentially life-threatening. Some filters are prone to breaking, resulting in pieces of the filter moving through the body and causing internal bleeding. If you had surgery to implant a blood clot filter, you may be entitled to a cash award, even if you haven't suffered side effects yet. Call the Gold Shield Group now, 888-747-5291, to see if you qualify for a cash award, 888-747-5291.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help.
And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help. With Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Florida Studio Theater presents the regional premiere of Clever Little Lies, now playing in the Keating Theater. Secrets are exposed and clever little lies are crafted in this fast-paced comedy by Joe DiPietro. Shattering and hilarious, Clever Little Lies is a story of long-term love and marriage, for better and for worse. Don't miss what critics are calling lively with big reveals and surefire comedy. Clever Little Lies is now playing. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting floridastudiotheater.org.
Pearl Cream by Dr. Anna, known as the facelift in a bottle, is an all-natural anti-aging formula that tightens skin and muscles, making you look younger. It's made in Sarasota with real pearls, Chinese herbs, and no preservatives. Visit our store or at pearlcreambydranna.com.
And welcome back to Suncoast View, and we have stepped it up a notch a little bit with our decor, which we'll be explaining in just a moment. But first, later on in the show, we have Jeremy from J-Dubs Brewing here. He is opening a new location, and he's going to give us a preview of what we can expect. And from the looks of it, it already looks tasty. We can't wait to talk to him later. But first, we're going to learn something new. Linda Carson.
Well, we all consider ourselves goddesses of some sort here on Suncoast View, and now we are going to look the part. Joey, I guess you're a god, but we have to get down to it. Well, Victoria Warren, the owner of Victoria Blooms, is here with us to teach us to make goddess crowns out of fresh flowers. This bohemian look seems quite trendy right now, Victoria, and a lot of people are calling for these?
Absolutely. I have a girl coming in at 3 o'clock to pick one up, so today and tomorrow and the following day, so they're very trendy, yes.
This is hilarious because there's actually a filter that will take a picture and snap, and then you can actually put the crown on. But now we don't need no
Yes,
filter.
the picture puts them on you, and we have them. So people are wearing these for events and
They're
weddings?
wearing them, obviously, the traditional sense for weddings, and you have flower girls. Yeah, she's
Or just because.
Yeah. Exactly, just because the bridesmaids, but we also have things like birthday parties, and instead of sending a bouquet, some of the girls will order a flower crown for their friends.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah, and then you go out for lunch and have a ball, Snapchat away, or not, or just no filter needed.
No filter, hashtag no filter needed.
Or just sitting at home watching
or
TV.
Or you could do an entire show wearing the crown.
Yes, we could.
There you go.
So can we make these? Well, you made your own back in the 60s.
And you
I'm
will
not
make
saying
your own,
how
yeah.
good they were. Can you show us how to make a really good one?
Absolutely. It's easy peasy.
Okay.
So all we really need is grab a couple of bunches of flowers from your market, flower market, or
Your
grocery
neighbor's
store.
garden.
Eat whatever works. Absolutely. And the only things you need to get from the craft store are some wire, like a 20 gauge wire, and your handy dandy stem wrap tape, which is awesome. And I think we used this when we made some bouquets.
Do you
previously.
do classes on this at your
I
place?
do, yes.
Oh.
I had a Mommy and Me class recently for
that
flower
sounds
crowns.
great.
It was a ball. Yeah, we had a great time. So have you guys made daisy chains as kids ever? So it's essentially the same thing, right? We're making a long chain of flowers. So this is your long, nope, just hold it straight. Now pick a flower, any flower.
So you already wrapped the wire for us.
Yes, I did, just
Thanks.
because it helps it stick. Yes.
She knows it's only an hour show. So she's
So what do we do?
And then we're not good.
Now grab your stem, and you're going to go a couple of inches underneath the very top of the stem. And then grab your stem wrap.
Go
A couple of inches. How far is a couple of inches?
Just like so.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
And this
biggest
one
flower I
already
can
has some wire bent onto it. And then you're just going to wrap the little stem of the flower onto your main long stem.
So
like
I've
this.
noticed you have a little one, and all of us picked the biggest flower we could find.
Naturally, even though I left it all the way on top.
Yes, right.
TV
That's
shrinks
okay.
the size of your flower.
That's okay.
Big or go home.
Exactly. And then it's a free-for-all. Then pick whatever your heart desires. And eventually it'll be a crown going all the way around. So you might want to check in the mirror every now and then, see how it's coming along, whether you want, say, a bigger bloom in another area
Do
or
you
whatnot.
make it all on the same side, or can I flip sides?
Flip sides is great. Yeah, flip sides, because remember it's going to lay across your head, isn't it? So yeah. And you can't really go wrong either.
Some of this grassy stuff.
You can,
Hope
yep.
that's very artistic. I saw her do that.
This is just a little bit of seeded eucalyptus or grassy stuff, either or.
Now I have to point out that you have a little bit of bling in yours, and so does Linda Carson.
I do, and that you could add as you go along. That's the next step.
Are you
for
cutting
sure.
this tape as you go?
Well, I am, but you don't have to. It's really easy to cut. You just rip it off.
We're clearly just doing anything.
And this tape is the way it works. You stretch it and you apply pressure to it slightly, and then it makes it stick. So it's not really sticky to begin with, but as you go along.
That's what
So,
confused me. This is so
Victoria,
much
here's a question,
fun.
because obviously we want to use fresh flowers, support our local florists and such. Instead of using artificial flowers, is there a way to keep them so that they won't lose their petals falling off?
Well, I mean, I make them. I can make them a day before, and the stem wrap kind of makes sure that the moisture is held in the stem. That's where you use it.
Oh, do you put them in the refrigerator?
Absolutely. Give it a nice little light mist of water, and then keep it in the fridge, and you're good to go. But these are so much fun. I've even made some for dogs for photo shoot.
Don't give me ideas.
Lulia's going to have a new head wrap.
Linda Larson and John Scalzi, all three of your dogs are going to be adorned.
Make that 5 dogs.
I have nothing to wear to the circus gala. I'm thinking maybe if I wear one of these, nobody will notice what I have
I'm
on.
going to, so I'll join you and I'll make one for you.
So in some of those pictures you showed us earlier, it looks like people are pairing them too. Like one of the ladies had on like a black,
Exactly.
almost more
They're so personalized.
evening wear.
Absolutely. A couple of ladies, they were going to an event and they said, we're just wearing black, but we want the pop of color in something different. I said, perfect. Let's do a beautiful floral crown. And the other one said, you know what, I don't want a full one. I just want a little cluster on one side.
Oh, yeah.
So we did that too. You could go so many ways with this. And it's fun having a go and trying it.
I think I would love to come to your classes and get really good at
Oh,
this.
I'd love to have you there.
Especially
It'd
with
be
one
a
of my
ball.
granddaughters. That would really be fun.
It is. And it just reminds me of childhood. You know, this is what we used to do.
Look at Bobette. She's way ahead.
You are hired.
This is
Good,
so
Linda.
This is so relaxing. It's
Right?
It
fun.
is.
It makes you smile.
Yeah. And when we do the class, there's music going on, and it's one of my favorite things.
This is really fun, relaxing, beautiful, and you feel so good when it's over.
Don't you feel like a goddess?
And you look
A
like
god-
a queen. Yes,
I
you
look
do.
like a goddess.
You know
You
what?
might.
You can find
I'll
out
take it
more
anyway.
about how to do this and how you can go to the classes at victoriabloomssrq.com. This sounds like a wonderful thing to make the world more beautiful. Thank you, Victoria. And next we're going to raise a glass to a new watering hole here on the Suncoast. Oh, you're way ahead, Linda. Look at you go.
Oh, I'm loving this.
You guys are amazing.
How do you know if your head is big enough to fit it?
Well, you can
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Come out to the best party of the season, the Goodwill Mardi Gras Gala on February 28th at Michael's on E. Tickets at experiencegoodwill.org.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
From our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is an ABC7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Scott Dennis. Here's what we're working on right now for 5 o'clock. A controversial mining expansion in Manatee County reaching the final stretch on a decision that homeowners say could affect their family's health. And the push to stop red light camera penalty gains momentum. How soon drivers could be able to stop paying fines. Now let's get a check on our weather with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob.
Scott, still pretty warm right now, 74 degrees. We've had some clouds, some very light rain showers around, and we're looking for the front to actually move through late tonight and bring in some cooler temperatures. Winds are still out of the south-southwest at 14, indicating the front is not moved on through. And as far as the overall front goes, it's over in north central Florida now, near Gainesville, stretching out over into the Gulf of Mexico. And as I said, most of the cooler air is behind that right now. It will filter in throughout the day tomorrow, so look for some cooler temperatures to move on in. Right now, pretty warm up and down the coast. More on your forecast at 5.
The official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Go ahead. Make a fashion statement. Demand something more than just ordinary. Capture elegance in every turn and drive with flair. Where beautiful styling is standard. Stop in and take a test drive. I'll guarantee you'll never go back to plain vanilla again. The all-new 2017 Fiat 500, starting at $14,999. Only at Sunset Fiat in Sarasota.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
And welcome back. There's yet another new hotspot coming to University Town Center, but this one has some familiar flavors. Sarasota's own craft brewery, J-Dubs, is opening a second location called the Dub Shack. And here to tell us all about it is J-Dub himself, Jeremy Jarger. All right, J-Dub, you're going to give us a tasting and tell us all about this. This is such an exciting idea.
Yeah, so it's pretty neat. So just about a month ago, or a month and a half ago, believe it or not, some franchise owners came up to me. We're not going to be doing these there, but I guess you guys already know where to get them.
Yes, I love that.
We're carrying over our goddess crowns.
I'm wearing this more for my mother than anything else, to be honest, right now, so I think she'll get a kick out of it. But, you know, some franchise owners actually approached us and said, you know, we're not going to go with this model anymore. We want to open up a new model. We want to team up with a local brewery, and we'd like it to be you. So this is something I had dreamed about for a while. And so it's a licensing deal. So I won't be involved in the day-to-day, which I'm not a restaurateur. I'm a crazy beer guy.
And this is what the inside is
And this is the inside of the new
so,
J-Dub Shack.
So this is all about local, right? And we talked about that a bit before, but these are local artists, guys that I know, who I can call them up and say, hey man, we converted this thing from a world of beer to the J-Dub's Dub Shack in less than a week.
Wow.
And so, I got home at 11:30 midnight last night, the night before as well. But, you know, starting a small business, you go through such trials and tribulations. You really find yourself, I think, unlike anything else. And I was in the military, so I experienced a lot of hardships there. But small business and not being rich when you get into it is its own special thing.
Well, I think this is great because, one, we thought World of Beer was closing, but look, a local place taking it over and then keeping it local. And you've actually brought us some examples of things that you're going to have as far as the food and beer. So let's start tasting some of
please do. Please
and
enjoy.
The pizza is from Casa de Pizza. Explain how that's going to work.
Yeah, so we're talking about supporting local business. What we're going to be doing with Casa de Pizza is we got our own menu at J-Dubs. You're going to see it there. But when you order from your beer tender, from that menu, It's integrated with our point of sale system. So Casa de Pizza will see it just a few stores down.
Wow.
They'll make the food and they'll bring it right to you at your table. So we're supporting local business, and we love it.
I like
and
it.
it's delicious too, so that's the
I've
good
got
part.
milk chocolate beer here.
Milk chocolate porter, yes.
Yeah, take us a walk through the beer, starting over
Okay.
down with what Linda Carson's got, the chocolate porter.
Yeah, so passion fruit and mango wheat beer, 4.5%, perfect for the Florida climate, but guys
She's
guys
really
like
enjoying that. I'm looking
like
at
it
your.
too.
You know what? I don't like beer. I love this.
Really?
I'm telling you, I love this. I don't know what it is. What is this?
Well, it's passion fruit and mango and a wheat beer, and it's, at the end of the day, it still tastes like beer, but you know, it's we get that a lot too, by the way, and we try to make a beer for everybody. The last time I was on, I won you over, and you guys, I said I'm going to find a beer that everyone you like, and that's our goal with our, especially our core beers, which these are.
Now I got to say, just interrupt 1 second. This was the best kept secret, because I know we all said, "Oh no, World of Beer is closing." I think we even reported on it, talked about it, but all the while you were trying to get permitting done to get in.
There's a lot of red tape. So we were getting through the red tape, and I actually, believe it or not, I had a few reporters call me, and I said, you know what, just hold tight. I'll call you first, which I did once we get through the hurdles, and fortunately they held on to that for us. But there were rumblings out there, and yeah, so we made it happen.
Congratulations.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
congratulations, because you guys have grown so much recently.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and I just want to, I can't even begin to tell you the growth. We got this location, this is 3 different places that the J-Dubs brand is operating, functioning business throughout Florida. But a big thank you to Benderson Development. They took a big chance on approving this. This is a corner unit, so it gets a lot of foot traffic. And to approve a little local,
And you're keeping your other locations.
Yes,
so,
and also
got the other location.
Linda
yes.
Carson's been excited about the milk chocolate porter.
Yeah,
so you're winning her
It
over.
tastes like chocolate.
Well,
It does.
That's good, because there is real milk chocolate in that
Wow.
beer,
And
there's a
real
lot
beer.
of it. And real beer, yes, there's real beer in there. So
yeah.
Great combination.
So something for the people that aren't necessarily beer drinkers, but for the beer drinkers, do you have, of course, the staples?
Yeah,
So you got an IPA.
Up Top IPA, which is our first flagship. It's an approachable IPA, very well balanced, but still gets the craft enthusiast. But that beer, that Bell Cow, milk chocolate porter, we get ladies like you who don't normally like beer, but we also get the real craft-centric folks too, because it's its own little niche of a beer. We wanted a Yoo-Hoo-esque experience.
And I've been
we
doing
pulled
the
it off.
poolside Kolsch. I actually get this at Publix, which I love, that we can find that here. So,
And
cheers.
Poolside is just won the gold medal at the U.S. Open World Beer Championships, and very proud of it.
Well, congratulations on the great beer, that award, and for opening your new location.
And the pizza's good too.
The pizza's fabulous. Now, the Dub Shack is going to be opening at UTC pretty soon. It opens Friday. Now, cheers to that. And again, congratulations. And next, we're going to be singing the blues, or at least Linda's going to be singing the blues. We'll see how that works out for us.
Local artists, local beer.
Hey,
We'll be right back.
Just go do it. Go do it.
If you're not in control, then who is? Live above the influence.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
All hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point away.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you
and for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
We are going to build a great society where no man or woman are the victim of fear or poverty or hatred, where every man and woman has a chance for fulfillment and prosperity and hope.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Get the new year off to a great start with safety and peace of mind. Subaru was named the 2016 Best Overall Brand, Most Trusted, and Best Performance Brand by Kelley Blue Book. And ALG named Subaru its top mainstream brand for residual value for 2016. Now you can lease a new Subaru Outback for just $229 a month, or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Well, Linda Carson always has the inside scoop on local events and festivals. So, Linda, tell us what's happening with the blues this weekend.
The third annual Suncoast Blues Festival, the Sarasota Blues Festival, is going to be at the fairgrounds. It's going to be in sort of the back of the fairgrounds, plenty of room. It's going to be concert seating, so bring your lawn chair or your blanket or whatever, no coolers. And we've got a great lineup of international blues stars. The gates open Friday at 5, the music starts at 6 to 9, and on Saturday the gates open at 11 and the music starts from noon to about 9. And at the end of each time they're going to have a jam, so all the musicians involved get up on the stage and sing together. So it's going to be a great time for everybody. People are coming from Maine, from California. It is just going to be an awesome time for everybody.
Oh, it sounds great. That festival sounds good. You can find out more information about everything that's happening with Linda's Suncoast scene on the news coming up later tonight.
624.
Yes, 624. Or you can always visit mysuncoast.com to find out all those events. Very exciting and also exciting. Stottlemeyer's is in the kitchen. We're going to be heading over there to learn how to make southern fried cabbage. We'll be right back.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
Gold fever is at an all-time high in the Sunshine State with the new Gold Rush Doubler family of scratch-off games. Everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. With over $1 billion in total cash prizes, the Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
From our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is an ABC 7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Haley Wilgus. Here's what we're working on for 5 o'clock. Venice runs into roadblocks with trying to ban cigarette smoking on beaches and at parks. Find out why the city is having a hard time enforcing that policy. And now taking a quick look at Suncoast Traffic Watch. No accidents right now, but I-75 is backed up in the northbound lanes from Clark Road to Fruitville. Now, let's head over to Bob.
Thanks, Haley. The 70s are still around, but they're going to be going away as a result of a cold front moving through late tonight. Right now, it's 74 degrees. It was warm today. Dew point temperature still way up there at 68, but that will be falling once the front moves through. The front itself is still way back here over north central Florida. Not much to it. There's not a really big cold front, but we will see some cooler air settle in throughout the day tomorrow. Temperatures right now into the 70s and 80s out ahead of it and into the 60s behind it. We'll get into some of that tomorrow. Details on your forecast at 5. See you then.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
We feel very confident that we're going to get this done quickly and properly and spend the next glorious 30 years here in Sarasota County.
Exclusive talks are underway between the Atlanta Braves and Sarasota County. The team could bring its spring training to Northport in just 2 years. I'm Alan Cohn. We'll have the latest on negotiations and show you what kind of economic impact the Braves could have.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
We consider the first 60 minutes the golden hour, the time that we can do the most to affect how a patient's going to do. I think what motivates all of us is that at the other end of it, we see them, smiling and happy and going back to their families. That's our greatest satisfaction. Sarasota Memorial Hospital is just an amazing place to take care of people.
Start the year off with a great deal during the Start Something New event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Ram trucks are built tough and have plenty of power to handle any job with all the comfort you'd expect in a luxury vehicle. And right now, all 2016 quad cabs are over 20% off with new Ram trucks starting at just $19,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
We are going to build a great society where no man or woman are the victim of fear or poverty or hatred, where every man and woman has a chance for fulfillment and prosperity and hope.
Coming up Friday on Suncoast View, a classic TV star joins us in the studio. We have Butch Patrick, but you'll know him as Eddie Munster from the Munsters. He'll be here talking about his appearance on the show, plus what's coming up on the Suncoast. The Artful Giraffe will be here with pottery lessons, so Linda Carson, we're going to recreate that scene from Ghost. Plus, another edition of Makeover Madness with Cutting Loose Salon, and Cafe Barboso is in the kitchen.
And welcome back. Right now we're in the kitchen with Jermaine from Stoudemire's, and we're making something that smells so amazing. Southern fried cabbage. Never heard of it.
It's a Southern dish. It's been in my family for a long time, and I actually brought it to the restaurant.
Wow.
So
we're learning it right from the source.
Awesome.
All right.
Oh, so tell us how it's made.
Well, first you dice your onion.
Dice your onion?
Dice your onion, dice your bacon.
Okay.
You saute it in the pan together.
Mm-hmm. All right,
All right,
okay, I'm dicing
so
as
she's
fast
dicing.
So
as fast as I
after
can
they
go.
dice,
Can I give you?
you have bacon already.
Can I give you some bacon? Oh, you're faster than me, Linda. I'm dicing. I got some.
Put it on the
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, whoa, hey. Okay, now.
Take that there.
Okay.
All right, so that fries up, I guess?
Yes, that fries
You want me to
up.
put some of this in there?
You can.
Okay,
Excuse
how
me.
much?
As much as you like.
Well, I didn't do all that work for nothing. I want all of that.
So we're starting off with the bacon, so that'll give it that nice little, we'll cook out some of the, cook down some of the fat that then we can cook in.
Yeah, it'll give it a nice flavor.
I think my onion should have been smaller.
All right. So when they cook, how long does it take to actually get, to the point where it's simmered down?
It varies. I would say no more than 10 minutes.
Okay. And then once that's cooked, what do we add?
You add your cabbage.
Cabbage coming up. Cabbage. Oh, whoops! This could be a dangerous thing here.
So I have to confess, the whole time we've been looking at this dish, I kept thinking it was noodles, and now I feel silly because it's actually cabbage that you have diced to look like
Here you go, baby.
fried noodles.
I spilled some right here. Can we get that up here when you need it? I don't want this place to go out and play.
What is happening?
There. Okay.
I don't think you should let Linda cook with you.
No, here comes the cabbage. Here comes the cabbage.
Here comes the
Here you go.
cabbage.
Here we go. Linda cut up the cabbage, so she did a good job.
She did a great job. She did a great
There
job.
we go. Okay, is that enough cabbage?
And then how
More
long
cabbage?
does that cook
More
down?
cabbage.
For about, I would say about 15 minutes.
Oh, that's not long at all.
You add your olive oil.
Okay. It's starting to smell really good.
Now, what is this for that I spilled on the floor?
That's actually a little saffron seasoning.
Okay.
For a little bit of
And
flavor.
Jermaine, do you want to cook the cabbage? What kind of consistency? Do you want still a little crunch, or do you want to get it pretty soft?
You still want a little crunch to
Okay.
it. It has to have a little crunch.
And
you don't want it to get soggy on.
And I see you have other seasonings. What other ones do we add to this? Because
This is adobo. This is salt.
all right.
Salt,
Pepper.
all of it?
No.
Oh, hey, a pinch.
A pinch of salt.
All right,
Okay.
and how much
pinch
of
of
the
pepper.
adobo?
A pinch of, is this pepper?
No, adobo seasoning.
Oh, okay.
How much of that?
This is pepper.
He said, I'll do it for
Yeah,
you.
right.
There
Let's
you
let
go.
you
You
do
guys
that, too.
clearly are not very good.
Okay, a pinch of red pepper, a
pinch?
handful.
A handful.
Handful?
Handful.
Okay.
All right, so Chef, as we're starting to wrap up, obviously your dish looks pretty incredible, and this is on the menu now at Stottlemyre's.
Oh, I can't wait
so
to
we can
taste
enjoy this.
This is the end result. And really quick, you guys have a lot of other things. So we have a couple things, wings.
Yeah, we have southern fried chicken. We have
Wonderful.
catfish,
So everything on the
hush
menu
puppies.
looks delicious. The catfish. Thank
Cornbread.
you, Jermaine. We're thrilled to have you. We also are enjoying the sounds of Straight Up, which you can catch all over the
Sure
Suncoast. Linda Larson, thank you very much. Jermaine, thank you. We'll be back tomorrow. As we're enjoying the sounds of Straight Up, don't forget to take some time and enjoy the Suncoast view.